Hello and welcome back to another installment of I Hope I Don't Fuck This Up. Today we are going to be rolling the fenders on Skyline 31. I have no idea what I'm doing, no idea what I'm doing, never done this before. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos about how to do it, so what could go wrong, right? So basically I've got myself a fender roller, guard roller, whatever you want to call it, this little contraption here. Essentially bolts onto your hub, so it works centrifugally to your hub. Big ass roller on there that you can change the angles in that section there, you can change the angles in here, you can change all sorts of sizes and distances and angles and stuff to basically progressively roll the fenders out. That rotates back and forth. You use a lovely little heat gun to warm all this up. The reason behind that is essentially you're working on metal, you're working on a pretty stiff paint or fragile paint. What the heating up does is actually make the metal a little bit more malleable, but also softens the paint as well, so it doesn't crack as much. My paint job is shit house, so I'm not too stressed about that. A little bit of cracking here is not going to be the end of the world, but obviously I want to avoid that if I can. I also don't want to weaken the metal too much as well, so heating that up to soften it is going to make it a little bit easier to do this. It's not going to warp it as bad, it's going to bend a little bit easier, make my life a hell of a lot easier. So basically, you'll see, I can turn this around. You should be able to see it here. We come inside, so this little bit here, you can see where it's been scrubbing here. This is what we're getting rid of. So essentially you can see that's one big lip there. This is going to be rolled flat up against there. So you can see you can kind of fit my finger in behind there. This is going to be rolled flat up against here, so it's going to be one thin piece here with one nice smooth edge. So you can see it's kind of partly rolled. There's a bit of a roll, how it kind of comes back out again, sort of 9 degrees there, a little bit flared there. This could quite possibly just be from my tires rubbing on it while I'm drifting. But we're going to make that a little bit more accentuated, flatten it out. I'm not going to pull the guards at this stage. You can use this tool to actually pull the guards out a little bit. So this sort of edge here, you can actually pull it out further. Not a huge amount, like a couple of mil. Essentially you can pull it enough to get rid of this flat edge. So it's just essentially comes down almost flat to that. I don't think I'm going to do that at this stage. I just want to flatten that out a little bit to get rid of the hard edge. So if it does scrub, it's not going to chew up the tires. It's not going to bend the fender or the guard as much. Essentially, what the rolled edge is going to do, if it does scrub, it's going to be a nice one flat edge rather than a sharp edge pointing in. It's just going to be one nice flat edge. So the guards or the tire, sorry, is just going to rub on the inside of the guard and push it rather than sort of grabbing and pulling and bending and doing all sorts of ugly stuff, as well as taking chunks like you've seen in previous videos out of the tire. So, as I said, no idea what I'm doing, never done this before, but that is the whole point of this. It's all part of the journey and all part of the learning process. So let's learn how to roll a fender. I'm going to set this up so you can watch me do this, and we'll time lapse it all, obviously, because this is going to be a very slow process. The big things that I've learned, all the videos and all the tutorials I've seen about it say, use heat, make it easier, stop cracking the paint, make the metal easier to bend, but also take your time, so don't rush it. So I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but we'll see how we go. Enjoy. Okay, well, I'm actually going to put that down as a success. Didn't take as long as I thought it would. Small increments, and just kind of working my way through it, made sure it was nice and hot. It actually came out all right. Look at this. It's not perfect, but you can see that's now a nice smooth edge along here rather than the big jutting out section. So it's not obviously not pressed, squished flat, but not too bad. I think it came out pretty well. One bit I did fuck up, you can see it pretty clearly here. A little bit too eager near the edges and just split on that seam. It's actually like a real hard, I'm not sure if you can see it, real kind of like hard corner in the frame. Just split that little bit there. But other than that, looks fine from the outside, seems. Yeah, but these are the tabs that hold the inner guard in. I'm not sure if I'm going to, I was thinking about trying to bend them 9 degrees, but I don't think that's going to be go. I might even just cable tie from there. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Cable tie the plastic from there to there. There are mounting spots where the old mounts have broken off. I have ordered a whole bunch of these. Yeah, they should be in tomorrow. That'll let me clip on the back half of it, so the back half will be secure. And then it's just the front half. I might just, I think that I cable tie through those still. Ooh, but yeah, that worked out. I'm pretty happy with that. It's come out looking pretty good. Yeah, you can see better there. Nice flat edge for it, smooth edge for the tire to run on. So the tire will just rub up against this flat edge rather than digging into a sharp edge. There's no sharp edges there now for it to catch on. It's all the way down, it's all nice and smooth all the way along. So it'll just rub rather than catching and biting and causing issues. So happy with that. On to the other side. All right, so I've done the opposite side. All in all, worked really well. Not as hard or as technical as I thought it was going to be. A little bit of patience. Obviously, you want to take your time. You do it too quick, you're going to crack things. You're going to crack the paint. The metal's going to stress too much. Plenty of heat, and just take your time in terms of rolling it. Came out really good. A little bit of a crack here, as I said, on the very corner. It's a very hard corner. So the metal did split there a little bit. Nothing massive. You wouldn't even know unless I pointed it out to you. The other thing I did notice, which I thought of as I was putting it back on, I put the inner guard back on, the plastic guard, just to kind of see where I had to trim it. As I was putting it on, I kind of thought to myself, inner guard is plastic. I now have heat gun. Plastic melts with heat. Gave it a bit of heat and can actually push it into shape to kind of, rather than cut it, push it so it's sort of change the shape so it sits better with where the rolled guard is. So what I'm going to do, when the clips come, I've left the car jacked up at the moment. Can't really see. Car is jacked up. I'm going to leave it up for the moment. The clips are coming in tomorrow to clip the rest of the guard back on. I'll clip the back of the guard back in. I'll pick up myself a set of heat gloves because pushing the hot plastic, yeah, a little bit tender on the fingers. I haven't quite got the Teflon chef fingers. Going to get the back of the guard clipped in place so it stays where it needs to be. Heat the guard up, get a pair of just welder's gloves from cheap welder's gloves from Bunnings, and actually push it back into, like, remold the inner guard a little bit as best I can to try and cover the gap as best I can to stop all the shit getting up inside the door and inside the panel. And then there's literally two, there's like one about here somewhere and one about here. That are the only two clips that got bent as part of the rolling that I can't screw onto or attach to normally. But if I can hit it and bend it back into place, it actually get the guard rather than sitting like this, I can actually bend it up a little bit to cover the gap. I'm just going to get a couple of cable ties and cable tie between the guard and the bracket here because it's a bolt hole, so I can just sort of cable tie between the two. That way I can still kind of attach them and keep it all kosher. But like even the little bit of bending I've done now, it's formed it more up at an angle, so it actually sits kind of in line with the angle of the angle of the roll. It actually doesn't feel too bad, even just there with a pretty quick little bend I did. Obviously sticks out a little bit. If you can see, you can kind of see here, sticks out a little bit there, but you can see where I've bent it up here. Kind of sits a little bit more flush with the edge. So just a couple of cable ties to pull that in. We might be on a winner. But yeah, I'll give that a crack tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, fender rolling done. Actually feels really good. That's it, no major issues. I'm happy with it. So yeah, on to the next job. So I'm gonna leave the video here. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment. If there's anything you want to see or any questions you got, if you want to know anything about how I'm doing or what I'm doing or where I'm learning, Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the notification so that you find out when the videos go live. YouTube does weird stuff with its algorithms, so make sure you get into those. And yeah, hope you're enjoying the journey, because I'm another talent to the skill, fender rolling. I'm now mastering that. Don't know if I go master, but we know how to do it. So, till next time, guys, take care.